Do you want to be part of a $100 trillion narrative? You probably do. That's probably why you're watching this video. Well, that's called DePin. DePin has been one of the most talked about narratives this cycle for the crypto markets. But what exactly is it? And more importantly, what are some of the top coins coming out in this sector right now? Well, let's dive into that. Let's explore this new niche for the next 10 minutes or so. And just maybe one of these coins might be one of the ones that we're looking for. It's going to give us those elusive dark horse kind of gains. But what the heck is DePin anyway? Well, we've discussed DePin some time ago, but just to refresh your mind, to get you up to date here, DePin means decentralized physical infrastructure networks. So basically, you're using Web3 incentive mechanisms to encourage communities to try to build these decentralized real world infrastructure networks or different things that people can actually tactilely use. It could be applied to AI, to wireless networks, energy networks, or basically to anything you can imagine in the real world that can be adapted in some kind of Web3 way. But how big can this sector get? Well, at the time of filming, the DePin sector has a market cap around $29 billion, including some pretty big overall things in that. A lot of the protocols are quite small, actually. And if you think that number's big, and it's not that big, but the projections are even bigger and crazier. According to a report by Masari, the sector could add $10 trillion to the global GDP in the next decade, another $100 trillion in the decade after that. I mean, those are some bullish numbers. I want what that guy's on. Sounds great. Anyway, if you're looking for a narrative that has the potential to last for a long time, then perhaps look no further. By the way, I'll leave a link to our previous DePin video down below. Before we dive in, obvious disclaimers. Please note, no one has paid us to be featured in today's video. The information is provided to you for free for educational purposes. This is not our recommendation for you to run out to buy or sell or hold any of the coins being discussed here. I do hold some, but not all of the coins being discussed in today's video. And I have bought those coins via private sales or OTC sales. Please keep that in mind. I do have some conflicts of interest. If you want to see my full portfolio disclosures, please go see the link in the description on YouTube or the pinned comment on X. Now, the first one on our list has some huge potential to dominate the DePin sector, and that's Peaq Network. This is a layer 1 blockchain that was built specifically for DePin. I know. You might say, well, why bother? Man, do we really need another blockchain? We've got Ethereum, we've got Solana anyway, we're covered. I don't blame you for feeling that way. I don't. But top DePin projects like Render and Helium do use these top two chains already. But let's try to think of it a different way. When you're sick, you go to your family doctor. But if you believe that you have, I don't know, let's say some kind of heart condition or something, you go straight to a cardiologist, don't you? You want the opinion of a specialist in the field instead of a general practitioner. In the same way, you might look at something like Peaq, because Peaq was made to be DePin's specialist network. It can process up to 100,000 transactions per second, which obviously pretty gosh darn crucial for a network that wants to do stuff like hosting a vast number of connected devices, processing all kinds of real data points around the world. Best of all, the transaction fees can be as low as 0.00025 cents. Now, if you're a developer, would you rather build on a more expensive chain or a cheaper chain? There you go. Now, if you're concerned about decentralization, the project has a Nakamoto coefficient of 90 plus, by the way. Now, the Nakamoto coefficient is often used to check just how decentralized a network actually is. So the higher the number, basically the better. As it is, Peaq's score has surpassed even other major layer 1 blockchains, by the way. Peaq has also secured over $20 million in the largest coin list launch in the last 2 years. Wow. So if you still don't see any potential, well, maybe this will change your mind. Peaq has also shown so much promise. Check this out. MasterCard has selected it to be part of its Start Path program. The program connects promising startups with industry experts and with resources to be able to help them scale up their fintech solutions. It's MasterCard, guys. MasterCard we're talking about here. It's pretty big, right? This should give you a clue as to where this project could be heading, what its potential could be. Second on the list is Natix. So does your work, for example, require you to drive a lot? Maybe you just enjoy going from place to place. You just like going out for that Sunday drive or Tuesday evening drive, whatever it might be. What if I told you that you could monetize your travel every time you get in the car and drive around for work all day? You could be making extra money because it's possible with DePin networks like Natix. Natix is a massive AI camera network, and anybody with a smartphone can join. You don't need to buy specialized equipment. So exactly how does all this work? Well, you go and you download the Natix app on your smartphone, and you place your phone on your dashboard using your phone camera. The app then scans the road to get important information about what's happening. For example, traffic congestion, surface damage, free parking spots. Oh, that's a good one, right? This data is then used to help improve maps in the real time. So think of this as some kind of like decentralized version of Google Maps, except that you get to get paid for it, right? So because for your effort, you get compensated with points that can be used to be redeemed for exciting, electronic and health products and stuff like that. And of course, their native freaking token. They can be turned in for the real hard ka-ching stuff. The Natix token is now live on CoinList, and the launch listing will end on May 23rd, which I think this video is going to come out slightly after that, so it'll be just in the market probably after that. Its investors and backers include big names, Crypto.com, the Digital Currency Group, NVIDIA, Google, Solana, as well as Peaq, actually, the guys we just talked about. Aside from these big names, there is another reason why Natix might become a big name. And it's all about the number of potential users. You see, there are about 7 billion smartphone users globally. Plus, Uber alone has more than 6.5 million drivers in different countries. All those guys can just put the extra phone up on their dash, man. We're not even, of course, counting about all the other ride-sharing apps, the courier drivers, the truck drivers just driving down the road, man. Just imagine what happens if even just 1% of those people join the network. Huge. You see, the more participants there are, of course, the more accurate the data is going to be. Thus, the more important Natix actually becomes to people who want that information. Okay, let's move on next to our next one. It's, by the way, not just a DePin project, but also a top project in AI space. And you see a lot of crossover between DePin and other things. AI is quite a common one these days, which is the next two projects we're covering. So Render is a multi-narrative project with more than $4 billion of market cap. We've done a separate video on that. If you want to go watch that on the channel, the network connects owners of idle GPU computing power with users who need them. The GPU power is used in a wide array of tasks from really basic artist rendering to AI applications. So contributors are then compensated with the Render token. The Render network is an alternative decentralized solution to really those more expensive and, of course, most importantly, more centralized options, things like Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud. Now, according to market research firm Mordor Intelligence, I guess they're run by Sauron. Watch out for Frodo, guys. He's coming. Anyway, the cloud computing market is expected to reach 1.44 trillion by 2029. Now, that big number, by the way, and we should expect it probably to grow over time. Anyway, look, decentralized platforms like Render, they're going to take a piece of that pie. Okay, so perhaps one to pay attention to. I know the market cap's big. Sometimes winners just keep winning, don't they? Now, let me get up to flow real quick to let you know what the best damn newsletter in the cryptocurrency business. It just happens to be my newsletter. I know, but it's awesome. Check it out. You'll love it. Our readers love it. I'm sure you will too. Every week, my team and I are working hard to bring you the latest and the best opportunities on airdrops, meme coins, altcoins, deep dives, NFTs, technical analysis, and much, much more. You can join 125,000 plus weekly readers and sign up for free using that link down below in the description or the pinned comment on X. So the fourth coin is another one of those multi-narrative coins. This one's called Edge Matrix Computing, or EMC. Now, this is a very low cap coin. Their mainnet's supposed to be launching, I think, in July. So could be something to watch out for as the hype builds around that. Potential shake up to the tokenomics coming as well. Now, its creators describe it as the next generation of AI infrastructure, just like Render. Its owners of GPUs contribute their excess resources to the network in exchange for EMC tokens. The decentralized approach aims, of course, to make AI computing power even more accessible and cheaper for the wider public, people who want to use it. But unlike Render, EMC still has a very small market cap. It was around $20 million at the time of recording this video. And I don't have to tell you that those coins with smaller market caps have bigger potential for putting in the big gains, obviously risk adjusted because, they haven't even launched their main net and stuff like that yet. So, that's worth keeping in mind. Something like Render, they've been out in the market for a while, they're well established. But if you missed Render and you were looking for betting on something else, then this could be another chance to get into some kind of AI DePin niche coin early. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you think the best things in life are free? Because the last one on our list seems to think so. It's called Wi-Fi Map. Wi-Fi Map is a project built on the Polygon network, and it lets users connect to free Wi-Fi in over 200 countries. And this basically acts as a giant search engine for Wi-Fi hotspots, which pretty cool, right? So it crawls the web, gathers information about public Wi-Fi locations from all kinds of different sources, including, of course, user contributions. Now, individuals who go out and contribute that knowledge into the network by adding different hotspots, by verifying information, or actually running speed tests get rewarded with Wi-Fi tokens. Now, as for the tokenomics, the project has a billion token supply and currently has about $20 million in market cap. The founders believe that everyone on our planet, of course, should have access to free and secure internet, which is pretty cool. And they're right. Obviously, internet's pretty awesome, right? You're here, we're here, everyone's here. All the cool people hanging out on the internet these days, right? Look, we're now living in a world where connectivity is as important as breathing clean air. AI, DePin, everything depends on your ability to access the internet. So how big can this get? Who knows? Who knows, right? But hey, shout out to free Wi-Fi, right? That's pretty cool. And if you're out in there in the busy streets and you want to get some free Wi-Fi, maybe this is something to check into. Or if you want to earn some coins, maybe it's also something to check into. Look, DePin as a narrative is something to watch out for. It bridges the gap between the physical world and the blockchain world, the Web3 world. It encourages the creation of decentralized networks that actually can improve people's daily lives beyond just speculating on meme coins and all that BS. This could be the answer to the naysayers claiming that the crypto industry has no utility and doesn't do anything. Here's crypto projects doing things. So someday we'll see a future where everything, of course, gets connected to the blockchain because it is the settlement layer of the internet. And the sooner people realize that, the sooner they'll wake up and go, oh, well, this seems really obvious. And of course, DePin is leading that change. Still a young narrative, but fading it might be a mistake. Thanks for watching.